Hey everyone, welcome to Being You with ASB, Creating Your Future. What an exciting topic. Um, on so and for so many different um, reasons. And it's interesting as I said the topic, I kind of tapped into some people's universes, especially this month. I think it's like, what is it, Suicide Awareness Month or something like that this month. And I lost someone to suicide. It was my first wife and the mother of my kids. And so when you talk about future and creating a future, there's so many people out there, and it might be you, who is in this space of hopelessness. You can't see your future. You can't perceive your future. It's just like it's blank. There's like nothing there. It's like maybe you're functioning from like, what's the point? And a lot of that is just simply because it's like all the things that you've decided that were a problem are more real and true to you than possibilities. Because possibilities is sort of like, it's like ambiguous, it's vague, it's not necessarily something you can see, it's not necessarily something you can taste. Sometimes you can, but when you're in that space of hopelessness, you can't perceive shit. The only thing that you can perceive is like all the problems, this, everywhere you look, no matter what you do to try to get yourself out of it, it's like everywhere you look, there's the shit, right? And that is one of the gifts of access consciousness, really, as a whole, and all the different tools that are provided in access consciousness. And one of the things that I do is called ASB, which stands for Anthony Synthesis of Being. And this is something that was coined by Dr. Dane here, the creator of ESB, Energetic Synthesis of Being. And it's basically, in you learn how to do this special kind of energy work in the Symphony of Possibility classes. And so about 7 years ago, I actually worked on Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, and Dr. Dane here. And by trade, I'm a chiropractor. I'm a chiropractor. That was my profession. And but since then, I've become a Access Consciousness facilitator, and I've been doing this ASB work around the world, working on the founder and co-creator of Access and thousands of people's bodies all over the world, literally. And what a gift, what a gift. But one of the biggest things that I've learned is that these tools, in particular, this energy work, this ASB, has this amazing way of creating space from those problems, creating space from that abuse, creating space so that your actual being can come forward, and that when that occurs, so much of those problems, so much of those tragedies become like back, like it's like they're not even significant anymore. It's like, well, wait a minute, that was my reality. Like that's what I was consumed with every day for years and years and years and years. And so it's an invitation to the space of possibilities. And when you have that, when you can actually perceive that space of possibilities, hope comes back. Now you still have to be and choose. You still have to make choices. And you have to be willing to like what if there was no wrong choice? What if you just chose something? Okay, it didn't work. Cool. Unchoose it and choose something else. So what if there was no wrong choice or right choice, just choice? So in creating your future, one of the things that I've seen with people is that they get paralyzed with making a choice. Why? Because they're afraid they're going to make the wrong choice, because that's how they got in this mess in the first place, right? Because they made the wrong choice 10 years ago or 15 years ago, whatever the case may be. And in this reality, we're taught to sort of be defined or live within the parameters of our five senses. If you can't taste it, touch it, smell it, hear it, see it, it's not real. It's not real, right? Well, what if that was a point of view? What if there was actually something beyond those five senses, where hopes and dreams are, where miracles are, where the possibility to create a reality beyond this reality dwells? And it's up to us to access that. You know, being that it's Suicide Awareness Month, and, so many of these people are told, well, you have a chemical imbalance, so we need to treat it with medication. That's fine. That's fine. If it's working for you, great. It didn't work for our family, I'll tell you that. But what if, in order to create your future, there's space that needs to get created so that you're not defined by your past? You're not defined by the judgments that you have of you. You're not defined by the judgments that you're aware of that others have of you. You're not defined by your points of view that you think are yours, that are probably not yours. They were probably just passed down from your parents or whoever raised you. So all the choices you've been making up until now was from the space of other people's points of view, everybody else's point of view, but your own. Like, if you were to create your own reality, what would that be? What would that look like? What do you truly desire in all areas of your life? How much money would you really like to have? What kind of people would you like to surround yourself with? What kind of place do you want to live? You want to live in the mountains, or do you want to live by the beach? Do you want to live in a city? Or do you want to live out in the country? Like, what works for you? What gets you excited? Now, some of you might be hearing this, but like, you don't know what I've been through. Look, I get it. I've been through a lot of rodeos and county fairs, okay? A shit ton. I'm not going to get into any of that. You can watch my other videos for all that stuff. But being you with this ASB energy, I mean, it's just one tool. It's one tool out of hundreds of tools that are available and access. When you're creating your future, space, possibilities, because there, anything is possible. What would you like your life to look like 5 years from now? I retract. Forget about what you like it to look like, because it never looks the way you think it's gonna. But what would you like your life to be like 5 years from now? And just perceive the energy of it. And think about the different areas of your life: money, with your relationship with your body, your relationship with your partner, your children, your dog, your cats, whoever, your house, your land. If you're like a spiritual person or religious person, your relationship with spirit or God or consciousness, whatever the case may be. What would you like your life to be like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now? Because every choice you make today creates your tomorrow. So let's go back for a minute to those of you who are like, but I can't make a choice. And this is where the gift of the tools of access consciousness, the bars, the body process classes, ASB, ESB, SOP. They're there to unlock your unique capacities. They're there to unlock the gift that you are. Whether you are convinced you're not a gift, even if you feel like the biggest loser right now, I get it, but you are a gift. And what if it was possible to actually access the gift that you are? What would you choose? What would you choose today to create the tomorrow that you desire right away? What would you need to choose today that would create that life you'd like to have 5 years from now? because it starts right now. It starts right now in these 10 seconds. No matter how uncomfortable it is, it's not going to be comfortable all the time, I promise you, because you're going to want to desire to reach for more. You're going to desire to want to go beyond anything that you ever gone beyond before. And it may be really, really, really uncomfortable. But the good news is you have the tools that are available. And so with ASB, Anthony Synthesis of Being, one of the gifts that that is and can provide is really just that sense of communion with your body and your being, and that invitation to possibilities. One of the biggest things that I get to see in people is like when they get off the table, it's like anything's possible. Like they're not defined by their limitations. They're not defined by the traumas and dramas. They're not even defined by whatever shit they may be presently going through at the time. It's like in that moment during that session, there's this sense of potency that starts to permeate every single cell and molecule in their body and being. Truly a gift. Truly a gift. I know it was for me when I received ESB from Dr. Dane here. That session was so powerful, so intense. I was so uncomfortable for about 8 weeks that it literally stripped me down to nothing, to where I felt like I was in the sea of infinite possibilities with no land in sight. I felt like I was out in the middle of the ocean. I'm like, oh my God, what do I? But it's like, but that's the space where you can start creating and adding things to your life. It's like an artist that has a blank canvas. What do I get to paint today? It's your life. You're the artist of your own life. And that's the gift that these tools are, is they can create a blank canvas for you. Now you can choose to dwell in your past. You can choose to keep reliving all your crap. But my question to you is, what's the value of that? What's the value of that? And is dwelling in the past going to create the future that you hope for? Because you can hope and dream all you want. It's not going to show up. So my invitation to you is, when that space gets created, one question you could actually ask is, now that the space has been created, what's available to me now that I've not yet chosen? You don't need to know the answer. Just be in that space. And what can I choose today that will create that future I desire right away? And it could be little things like planting a tree, receiving a session, lowering your barriers. Lowering your barriers and being that space of vulnerability. So being you, the ASB, creating your future. Look, you're not going to create the future that you desire if you're not being you. Good friend Dr. Dane here wrote the book Being You and Changing the World. Now, you don't have to go out there and change the whole entire world, but what if you could just change the world that's around you right now? And if you happen to have children in your life, or a significant other, whatever, their reality changes too. Because you're showing them that they can actually choose for them. I'll have what mom's having. I'll have what dad's having. I'll have what she's having or he's having. Wouldn't that be fun? So, what future would you like to create? And what choices can you make today to create that future right away? So, I hope to meet you in person someday soon. Come play if it's fun, if it's light, and just know that your past doesn't have to dictate your future. All right. Bye for now. Hope to see you in person someday soon.